done.
Rocky and Bullwinkle! Rocky and Bullwinkle! I confess, I killed you.
Critic?
I killed anyone's interest in seeing you.
Critic, are you okay?
Yeah, what about target practice at Raja Gosnell's house?
Oh.
Now, Critic, if you don't open the door, we're gonna drink all the Ecto Cooler and leave nothing for you.
I thought we were gonna do that anyway.
No, he doesn't know that.
Oh my god! You wanna use a 9mm, less kickback.
Thank you.
Malcolm!
Oh!
Oh, thank God. He was saying the strangest things about a movie that everyone hates. Clearly, his soul has been twisted by the devil.
Do not worry. If there is one thing I know, it is how to force the internet's opinion with shade. It's just good to know that he has such good friends.
With this, there's no chance you can misfire.
Malcolm!
Oh, sorry. You're gonna do something, do it right. You should be proud of me.
Leave me alone.
Your friends told me you were saying some concerning things about a movie. It's okay. All terrible movies are equally bad in the eyes of the internet.
Are they? Tell me, how well trained are you in bad film adaptations?
I know a little. Bigger films, mostly.
Ah, then you must know why a Dr. Seuss character sticking his head in a woman's cleavage and having a man kiss a dog's ass doesn't work.
I can't say that I do. Isn't that the beloved adaptation of The Grinch?
Oh, Christ. All right, well, surely you must know why the Mad Hatter breakdancing and applying rules and logic to an illogical world that can't even represent the title right doesn't work.
I regret it is not too familiar. It does sound like that smash hit Alice in Wonderland, though.
Here, what about this one? An animated moose and squirrel try to save the world from a
Villain with a lame accent? They make all sorts of forced puns with sloppy slapstick and no story? Yes, I know that! I'm sorry, I had no idea you despised that film as much as everyone else.
I didn't. That was Rocky and Bullwinkle.
The film you accuse yourself of killing.
You heard that?
For God's sake, my son, if you have something to confess, do it now.
They were my icons. Rocky and Bullwinkle, the popular TV show that ran from 1959 to 1964. While kids could enjoy the adventures of a cynical squirrel and a brain-dead moose escaping the clutches of Boris, Natasha, and Fearless Leader, adults enjoyed a ton of in-jokes and smart writing that would usually go over most children's heads. It was one of the first animated TV shows where the focus was more on the humor for grown-ups and less on exciting stories for kids, resulting in some brilliant puns
You went to college? Penn State?
State Penn.
and some not-so-brilliant puns.
It's from Washington.
Washington. Suppose he heard I was a Lincoln fan?
There was no doubt. It was corny, but still clever. It showed caring little about the scenario could actually be funny itself if you used it with the right kind of comedy. But, nevertheless, when the movie was advertised years later, people shuddered in disgust. These were clearly some of the worst trailers ever released since any of the trailers in 2016.
What's up? I'd like to use one of my lifelines, please.
They were bad. Really, really bad. As I read countless requests upon countless requests, I finally decided to watch this sack of moose droppings. As I put the DVD in to review it, I played a little game with myself. The internet despised this movie. Critics gave it a 43% on Rotten Tomatoes. Did it show? Did even the first couple minutes represent how awful this adaptation was? I pushed play on the remote and started to watch.
Rocky and Bullwinkle themselves were forced to subsist on ever-diminishing residual checks from reruns of their old show.
But something strange started to happen to me. Something I didn't think would happen to me after all the hatred and awful advertisements. I started to laugh.
And their plans were crushed by the fall of the Iron Curtain.
That was Rocky and Bullwinkle. That clearly well-written, faithful adaptation being shown to me on the screen.
While the narrator, that's me, was forced to move in with his mother, where he was reduced to narrating the events of his own life.
It seemed to have the same spirit, the same humor, even kind of a similar animation style. No. This has to be a mistake. It must be. It better be.
I just want to clarify, you tried to kill yourself over this movie?
The movie continued, explaining how Rocky and Bullwinkle were trapped in reruns and their home in the forest been chopped down.
I'm the chairman of the Frostbite Fall Society for Wildlife Conversation.
You mean wildlife conservation?
Well, somebody's gotta start talking about these things.
Even their wordplay had become hackneyed and cheap.
No, it was always like this.
Wow, they even acknowledge how forced a lot of their humor can be. I'm legitimately confused. This seems like the typical Rocky and Bullwinkle writing, maybe even a little better because of its awareness of how it's being perceived. Surely something has to throw this all off.
Hello, Mimi.
Live action, of course! Now we're going to Brendan Fraser, Brad Pitt, and Robert De Niro this up. Oh wait, this was the one he was in? Even better! We see how Janeane Garofalo chooses her movie scripts.
Too intelligent.
When Boris, Natasha, and Fearless Leader convince her that they should make a Rocky and Bullwinkle movie.
What is it?
It's classic American cartoon from early 60s.
And as you know, films based on shows from the 60s always equal cinematic success. So she signs the contract bringing them into the real world. So now we have De Niro as Fearless Leader, Jason Alexander as Boris, and Renee Russo as Natasha.
How did that happen?
We are attached to the project.
Was that your excuse for little fuckers? But the studio president, Carl Reiner, says he don't like moose pictures.
I don't like moose pictures.
But a very specific prejudice. But the evil trio put out RBTV, really bad television, to hypnotize the world through awful shows to do whatever they want. Oh, that explains, I think, everything. But the FBI director, Randy Quaid, I'm back from Canada, is putting his top agent on the case, Karen Sympathy, played by Piper Perabo. Looper, that's where you know her from. She's so idealistic, warm-hearted, and beautiful, she can't help but smile when she's called idealistic, warm-hearted, and beautiful.
Idealistic, warm-hearted, and beautiful FBI agent Karen Sympathy.
Damn it, this movie's charming! I want to kiss me and carry me off to a castle! Give me something to work with!
Are you familiar with the Rocky and Bullwinkle show?
Oh! I mean, I've heard of it.
Okay, that was Nickelodeon TV movie awkward. We're back on track! All that's missing is a visual gag even a haunted house wouldn't use.
It's almost as if there were a mole in the White House.
That's just ridiculous.
Yes! This I can work with! In that it doesn't work, which worked for me! I have a weird job. So she sneaks into the studio to try and bring Rocky and Bullwinkle to life by literally choosing the genre of the movie they're about to star in, and using literally a green light to create them. This is so meta, even the Muppets would turn to the camera and say, "You know I'm just a bunch of foam with a puppeteer attached to me, right? I don't even know how many more fourth walls we can break." But it works, and our two heroes are set free.
Rocky. Bullwinkle.
It's such a pleasure to meet the only reason Dave Coulier got a job on Full House. Something you'll notice very quickly is that the animation on the two of them is clearly computer generated. You would think that this would make them seem less, well, animated, and more solid and slow. But in a strange way, it actually works. Rocky and Bullwinkle didn't exist in a world of motion. It was mainly an excuse to make verbal jokes. So in this environment, nothing is really lost. If anything, it really kind of looks like they're in the scene interacting with people, despite them obviously being cartoons. It's not as good as, say, Roger Rabbit, but it is better than other movies where clearly they never look like they occupy the same space. The CG surprisingly really fits. Now, if only that somehow upped Rocky's Prozac prescription.
Wait a minute. Why do we take an airplane? It's just not right. I could fly if I had to. We're supposed to be the hero. I guess the world just doesn't need us.
I swear, every time he's on screen, he's always bitching or moping about something.
That's not what you said before. Bullwinkle, that's not what you mean. What network are you from? What's the point? No!
Even Eeyore would be like,
Christ, I'd rather be thrown in a fire with a Velveteen Rabbit than listen to this guy.
So they outrun the police because clearly the FBI couldn't ask to do any of this, and they make it to her car.
Did you watch her show?
Did I watch your show? I loved your show.
You did?
I'm a beautiful lip gloss wearing 19-year-old woman. Of course I've seen Rocky and Bullwinkle. I look just like the rest of our demographic. We also see Bullwinkle's antlers can intercept radio frequencies.
Bullwinkle, cover up your nose.
Oh, okay. But I was just getting jiggy with it.
Don't they know every time a movie makes that reference, God's finger gets a little closer to smoting us?
But I was just getting jiggy with it.
So the villains begin their hypnotizing test to see if they can make people dumber.
It works! There has never been a way to actually destroy a cartoon character until now.
What about that movie Roger Rabbit?
Shut up! This is totally different!
No? That was funny. It was a funny line, funny delivery. Even that awkward silence kind of made it work. Again, it really is like Rocky and Bullwinkle. Some of the jokes are funny and some of the jokes are awful. That's always what they were.
Yes, all that's missing are the confusing jokes. The ones that don't make sense as a kid or an adult.
Oh, like, I don't know, having an unexplained kid as an evil scientist?
Yes, that would be mighty
The
confusing.
computer degenerating imagery, or CDI as I like to call it.
Why, that's as odd as...
A random animated weasel they just found?
Now I know what happened to my friend Freddy the Ferret.
How?
Oh, it's okay. Before you even get a chance to question it, they throw in a funny line, so you completely forgot what you were confused about.
Send him where all worthless cyber chumpkins of the internet.
I feel delighted, annoyed, and puzzled all at the same time.
Exactly. That was Rocky and Bullwinkle. What was the movie up to? Could it be so clever that it was purposefully bad in some places and purposefully odd in others? No, it has to just be bad. This is 2016 internet, and I will not allow anything down the middle, especially for the feature.
Oh, I don't know. This sound effect's becoming pretty annoying.
Okay, that is entirely bad. But in Sci Fearless Leader's eye, there's a cartoon. Because the director said they'll get it. When suddenly objects start falling from the sky. Look out! You're the one driving. Beware me. Thank you, me. They get away, though, leaving Boris and Natasha to face the punishment of Robert De Niro's in-joke.
Are you talking to me? Are you talking to me?
And when I say in, I mean about as in as John Travolta or Tom Cruise. It's so not in that it's pretty much out. The two of them steal a helicopter from a very strange Jonathan Winters cameo.
Sick and tired of shopping for helicopters. Boy, if I had a missile, I'd blow your buns right out of the sky.
I'll leave that alone. He was very old and said yes to 2 of these, for God's sake. But our heroes get intercepted by a possibly stranger cameo from John Goodman.
But she really is with the FBI.
Yeah, and I'm really John Goodman. Let's get in the car.
You know, after Blues Brothers 2000, I wouldn't admit I was John Goodman either. So they're separated from their Coyote Ugly co-star. Yes, that's the other one you know her from. Put it down. As they partake in, what a shock, more puns.
We don't have time to get to Washington.
This is no time to worry about getting the washing done.
You know, Rocky and Bullwinkle really need a pun scale. Something to show which ones legitimately work and which ones are Hitler's ass scratchers.
This movie's getting kinda...
Don't say it.
Two-dimensional.
Oh, great! There's no telling how low that pun will go!
Someone's watching Rocky and Bullwinkle again.
They're picked up, however, by a duo of, hey, this was a thing.
See, where you guys been all this time, huh?
Reruns.
You know that's never gonna happen to us, right?
Boy, I don't know whether to feel bad or... No, that's the only option. They go to the boys' college, which was actually a school Bullwinkle went to in the show, but there's just one problem. The college is anti-moose.
There's the animated freak now!
What is with all the moose hate in this? What, did he violate your safe space with his giant antlers? Is he now on the wall of entertainers that are too shocking to perform at colleges? Speaking of which, Karen flirts with a Swedish guard by promising to take him to the movies if he gets her out. But is it me or are her hand gestures a little too, symbolic?
How would we eat our popcorn?
Well, we could eat our popcorn with one hand and hold hands with the other.
Yikes! Thank God Bullwinkle wasn't firing the puns on this one. Boy, she really knows how to squeeze my hose. Bullwinkle! I'm just saying, she really knows how to make the wet stuff come out. Bullwinkle! Oh, and when I say come out...
Okay, don't come crying to me if the FCC leaves a horse head on your mattress.
At least I wouldn't be the only one getting head.
Oh, Christ.
Back at the college, Rocky sees Boris is about to attack. So he tries once more to see if he can remember how to fly.
Gotcha! Save Bullwinkle!
Luckily, Rocky had delicious Taco Bell tacos.
He foils their evil plan, saves Bullwinkle, yet somehow still finds something to be upset about.
I guess I've lost the knack. I'll never fly again.
Seriously, Zoloft, Prozac, that creepy shit from We Happy Few. Take something, you depressed woodchuck!
Yes, Bullwinkle's speech was so inane that the students couldn't understand a word he was saying and consequently found nothing to object to.
Oh my God, this movie may have predicted the future. Nah, they'd always find something to object to. Plus, there are some legitimately funny scenes, like the nice Swedish guard who helps Karen escape to go to the movies. She totally abandons him, doesn't even think twice. Honestly, this movie really does have a lot of the characteristics of the original cartoon. Right down to some of it being brilliant and some of it being painful. I'm sorry, but it really is a good adaptation. But why this film? Why is Rocky and Bullwinkle the adaptation that works? With all the great cartoons turned into live action shit, why is this the one that gets all the effort, even down to the flaws? These other adaptations deserve better. These other adaptations deserve better!
What are you saying?
I'm saying from now on, the movie and I are enemies. Because it chooses this piece of crap to represent perfectly when other adaptations deserve the attention. Because it is unjust, unfair, unkind. I will block it. I swear it. I will hinder and harm that feature on Earth as I am able. I will ruin Moose and Squirrel.
You know people already hate it, right?
Well, yeah, but I'll make them hate it even more.
That's not very impressive.
You're not very impressive. So Rocky and Bullwinkle race towards Chicago, probably lured by their filming tax breaks. It wouldn't last. Where they drive through 2 Italian peasants just so they can crash through some fruit carts in their chase. If that's not funny enough, get a load of this weird silent moment. I have no idea why that was there, but it just cracks me up. Was it supposed to be an out-of-body experience? Like, we're supposed to hear their thoughts?
I never did tell her how I really feel.
You know it'd be pointless right now? A Billy Crystal cameo.
Mattresses for sale! Volume! Now that's a soft mattress.
This cameo just fixed my pipes in my summer home. Yeah, a lot of the cameos in this movie, if you haven't noticed, don't really make a lot of sense. It's the equivalent of using an unpopular appearance twice for no real reason. We just saw him! We just saw Jonathan Winters! Why are they using him again? Oh, and it doesn't tie into any joke. It's not like that's his brother or his look-alike or the same person. It's just Jonathan Winters as a different character. Hell, why not complete the trilogy and have him pop up as another completely different character? I'm high. I am completely high. Why would there be 3 Jonathan Winter cameos? What? Was this in his contract? He had to play more than one character no matter how brief or pointless? What if he had that same contract in Smurfs?
Hey everybody, do you like my new dress? I got you now, Papa Smurf. Meow.
He doesn't always have to be a one-man everything.
Our heroes escape the villains again, which just curls Alexander's reverse Hitler stash, but Karen tries to encourage Rocky to conquer his fear of flying. I feel like we've done this already.
Rocky, you're flying! You're flying!
This is the most exciting moment since, let's look at the clock here, 20 minutes ago! 20 minutes ago is when this happened. I was just as excited then. Actually, no, I'm less excited because we did it, what was it again? 20 minutes ago! We come across this image that, quite frankly, I have no words for, as the villains lie about destroying our heroes, making Fearless Leader very happy.
Excellent! My faithful minions, excellent!
Go home, movie. You're drunk. I clearly haven't licked enough toads for this. How is it Robert De Niro has been in movies where he's worn fake boobs, and yet somehow this seems more demeaning? Well, at least they get chocolates, though. I've so many questions. Karen and Rocky get captured and see what Fearless Leader has done to the other agents. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the main cause of your bedwetting tonight. Look close and deep. There's no way you're getting those urine stains out of your mattress. Not terrifying enough? What if we meld it with a beautiful lady and one of your cartoon icons? Rule 34 has nothing on this insanity. The Lord knows someone's jerking off to it. Meanwhile, Bullwinkle accidentally lands in Washington.
Well, as long as I'm here, I might as well talk to the president about the trees.
Oh yeah, the trees are still a thing. Is this like a last-minute environmental message? Because it's not worked in very well. I don't think Gone with the Wind would be very powerful if they suddenly threw in,
Where shall I go? What shall I do?
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
and by the way, don't smoke. But Quaid is still there and realizes the best way to get Bullwinkle to save them is to email him over. Say, what's this site called Tentacle Hentai?
Save it!
Time stood virtually still at RBTV.
No, not really. We just want to show off we could do that effect. But it's too late, for everyone is under Fearless Leader's control and he forces the world to vote for him.
Vote for Fearless Leader.
We will vote for Fearless Leader.
Either one works in this scenario. But Bullwinkle's antlers reverse the signal and he slams into De Niro, surprisingly holding back a raging bull joke. I would have done it. Everything gets wrapped up and our heroes of course save the day.
And RBTV changed its name from Really Bad Television to Rocky and Bullwinkle Television.
What's the difference?
Wow, I think Rocky's negativity is really rubbing off on him. Y'all gotta learn how to love yourselves. Speaking of which, Karen is allowed to love her inner child because the film reminds us that was a thing. And she even goes back to the Swedish guy who was still waiting at the movies the whole time. Damn it, that's funny! I don't care if he looks like James Marsden melted into Greg Sestero, it's still a funny joke! The trees are planted again until the next computer-generated jackass complains about them and all is right with the world. Except for the fact that it's here. It's here on Nostalgia Critic, and you know what that means. Destruction. Destruction of the feature done by the destroyer of films, Nostalgia Critic. What passion, what comedy. He has been touched by the internet gods. And Hollywood forced to listen. Hollywood that decided this was going to be one of the most faithful adaptations, while other adaptations deserve better. I, for once in the end, laughing at them. Still, I have to admit, I kinda liked it. Okay, it's nothing great, but Rocky and Bullwinkle wasn't really anything great either. It could be brilliant, but it could also be kinda lame. It could be creative, but it could also kinda be phoned in. The jokes overshadowed the story and characters every time, but that was always the idea. And that's precisely what this film is. It captures its source material to a T. Even the trailer redubbed a lot of the lines so it would sound lamer for some reason.
What's the difference?
So it's no wonder nobody wanted to see it. It has a similar feel as George of the Jungle. It's obviously meant to be a kid's movie with some tongue-in-cheek jokes for adults. But it never loses track that it's mainly just meant for kids. Yeah, again, for the most part. And as kids' films go, this is fine. No classic or anything, but a solid C++. If you're not a fan of the original cartoon, you probably won't be a fan here. But if you have a soft spot for puns, good or bad, fourth wall jokes, and kind of an awkward yet still likable charm, God help me, I actually think this is enjoyable enough to watch. Are you surprised by my choice? My ability to disagree with the masses? My ballsiness to enjoy something so universally despised?
Oh boy, you really can't talk a man's ear off. So you really liked Rockadoodle?
Get out of here! Okay. Oh, and tell all the others that enjoy mediocrity that I will speak for them. I am their champion.
Has he gone crazy?
I think the real question is, was he ever sane?
Mediocrity. Mediocrity's everywhere. I find you all okay. You're okay. You're okay. All your mediocrities are okay. You are all average.